Yes, good afternoon, gentlemen. I imagine some of the newer folk would think, oh, cool, it's a new background, Snowy Library. And all the older people would think, oh, sweet, you're back in the library again. Yeah, only for this video, though. I think. I might switch it up between the Nebulas and this one, depending on the topic. I might use this one when discussing something that needs my brains. We shall see, though. But I'm keeping the mustache. But with regards to the new people, we need to have a bit of a word here because I've noticed a trend with you lot, so I need to teach you all some geography. Because America has this reputation for knowing bugger all about the world. The only time they ever learn about a country is when their fucking tanks are rolling through it. That and when they hear an accent with good diction, they always assume it must be British. Because in the minds of the Yanks, no one outside of Britain can ever fucking speak English properly. By the way, Americans, here's a tip for you guys. You give yourselves away by saying British. The only time anyone in Britain ever uses that phrase is when it's some leftist shithead bitching about the colonial empires, always in English, which is rather funny, or when they talk about the Olympics. And that's it. You'll never hear Sargon call himself British because he's an Englishman. The same way you'll never hear Dank call himself British because he's a Scotsman. Or to use an amusing American example, proud members of the Lone Star State will always call themselves Texans before anything else. Which brings us to me. Let me show you guys something. Yanks, you see this? Yeah, this is where you live, right? Across the ocean, this right here, this is where many of you seem to think I come from. When in reality, all the way down south, right here, this is where I actually come from. South Africa. This beautiful landscape, this is my homeland. Where is it actually? Vineyard, so presumably Constantia. I swear, every time I hit the 1,000 sub threshold, the next video I'm gonna mention where I'm from at the start so Americans will stop assuming I'm British. But yes, for the new people, what is this channel all about? Well, for one thing, I'm an absolute monarchist because democracy is a pile of dysfunctional wank and it needs to go. I'm a propagandist first and foremost because the phrase influencers absolutely cringe. My ultimate goal here is to move people as far away from leftism as their heads will carry them. If you can sum up this channel in a single picture, probably be this one. Freaking based polls. However, in the past couple of weeks or so, I've kind of taken a back seat from the politics because we're essentially just watching the globalist oligarchy known as the American Uniparty scramble to keep their aging grips on power. Oh look, another one bites the dust. You know, if term limits are decided by the Grim Reaper, there's probably a conversation to be had here, you know. Now, if only this one can go, hopefully he can take this knuckle dragger with him, or throw in the ghoul and discount G-Man here for good measure. Oh yeah, and him too, because you'll need all the coke you can get in the afterlife, if only because you're gonna need to stay on Satan's good side in hell, I imagine. Now, as far as the content deviation goes, because I've done quite a few response-style videos lately, and I'll be honest, I didn't want to bother doing that kind of stuff at first, because I felt, it's a cheap way to get my name out there, and the snob in me didn't really want to do that. But then I thought, and this is totally not me trying to justify this, I got my initial boost on this channel by my comments being on the Lotus Eaters, and the live chat would be ruthlessly honest about anyone sending in comments, and they never gave me any grief, probably because I wasn't a cringy weeb, that definitely helps. And when Callum and Sargon told me I have the voice to be on YouTube, that was pretty much the best green light I was going to get, so cheers to all of you that are still sticking around. So I'm basically using people either way, because the first one I did on just some guy, that was all because on the Twitter, he said V's line, the left cares about equality, but the right cares about quality, was flirting with fascismus. Because of course they're gonna say that. These idiots don't know a world without ideology prior to the Second World frickin' War, and one of his Belen fans said to V, he owned him in a video. And I looked at that and thought, anyone who says something this dumb would never be able to best V in a political argument in a million years. This is bound to be gloriously stupid, and oh sweet lord was I right on the money. And I sat there listening to that thinking, this is a level of imbecility so maddening, it's actually pissing me off. Hence why I sound so annoyed in that video because I was responding to it in real time. However, as annoyed as I was in that video, I have to be honest, those videos are really fun to make because it suits my style of communication rather well. There's no waffling or dragging anything out, it's just punchy and to the point. Fun times, but I understand if that kind of content is not for everyone, and so I have some questions. The main one being, what kind of content do you guys want to see more of? And please, you trolling assholes, do not just say more of the same, because that does not help me, it just pisses me off. But anyway, the longer form content does really well, despite YouTube apparently pushing the shorts and all of that. The break from politics, at least directly anyway, is a welcome change, though I do have one or two here and there that I'm still planning and I won't drop it entirely. I do have a long project planned on cultural diversity done right that I wrote about almost 2 years ago now that I still have the footage for, though I may need to get some more and play around with that. There's a hint for you to what the topic is about. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is supporting this channel, because I'm a greedy asshole. And so, no matter what I do or say here, I am going to piss some people off. I did enable super chats a while ago. Why I didn't do that before, I have no freaking idea. And opened memberships to this channel as well a couple of days ago, if anyone would like to join that. Feel free, and after promising for God knows how many months, I have a Patreon now as well. I did try and get a subscribe star going as well, but they are apparently notorious for having terrible stuff when it comes to verifying an account. I searched online on forums to see if anyone else was experiencing this problem. There were people saying that they've been waiting for over 2 years and still nothing was happening. So I have no idea if that will even work. I tried it with a different email account, which is why if you go to my page now, there's a link there, but that's just to speed up the verification process. I'll tell you guys if it ever goes through, if it ever does anyway. I did make a locals page as well, but good lord, the locals pages are a freaking nightmare to navigate. Or it could just be because I'm a dimwit pleb. That is very likely also a possibility. Say what you like about Patreon, but of all the services that I tried, they were by far the easiest to set up, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Which brings me to this point. You guys who do decide to donate and help the channel, is there anything particular that you guys want to see? Because here's where I'm gonna piss people off. If I don't put something behind a paywall, why donate to the channel at all? Because I feel like the people who do, they do deserve to get something different for their efforts. I don't know if it's necessarily behind a paywall, or perhaps they can message me and then they can send me a topic that they want specifically just for them and we do a video on that. You guys tell me. Because unfortunately, the most lucrative suggestions via mass volume is going to win. Isn't capitalism swell? I'll tell you guys what I do want to get for the channel, as well as some other projects as well, is a new microphone. It's a little over 600 euros, so any money I get now is going towards that. It's definitely not going to buy whiskey or this eye-wateringly high-proof high-what-the-hell Navy rum.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I've not at all been scouring the European landscape like a psychopath trying to find places to buy the stuff since Brexit custom charges have started asking for blood as a form of fucking payment. No, not at all. I actually have been in a professional recording studio before, and when I asked the engineer what I should get, he dropped this warm audio model instantly, saying that I have a very dark voice and so I need a microphone that captures the essence of evil that is my vocal tone. So if you happen to stumble upon a video in the future and the audio sounds significantly different, yeah, that'll be the reason why. Oh yeah, one last thing, merch. People have been asking me for that as well. I don't quite know what people want, so I want some ideas. People have been asking for crazy things like special spoons. I don't even know where I would go about for that or what they would look like. But I'll put this little guy in mugs and shot glasses and t-shirts and hoodies and all of that. I kind of want to make a plush of him as well, but I don't know how we would end up putting the top out on a spoon though. But yeah, topic for another time. And yes, don't worry, I will include spoons with or without the mustache for those of you who suffer from Bogonophobia, or Thatcherism as we call it. I don't know what slogans or anything to put on them just yet. Spoon Platoon will probably be one of them. As well, I apologize for nothing, for sure. Definitely be gone, you dozy bin. That will definitely be one of them. Not sure what else, but again, you guys tell me. Oh, and by the way, one last thing. Yes, I will stream a game of Fallout New Vegas, because nothing quite says getting away from politics like playing a game saturated with it. You can probably guess who I'm gonna side with.
Fuck the NCO!
Fun times. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.